Top of the day to you, fellow trendsetters. Now, Western movies, I always just saw it as an old genre. I've seen a number of them through time, even the Italian spaghetti westerns that they showed on SBS back in the day. But I even have a copy of this, a stir fry western, Tears of the Black Tiger. It's actually a western made in Thailand. Yes, this movie actually does exist, and I do recommend watching it to anyone. Well, you know what? Australia actually does have a small number of westerns made as well, and not just in film. And this one I'll be taking a look at for this episode. So saddle up and let's ride into the sunset, and I'll tell you my worthless opinion. Partner, cue music. Stop. Okay, first off, I'll actually thank Brad Daniels for lending me his copy for this review. And here it is. Rick McClure, the second fastest gun in the West. So this was written by Hayden Spirrell with art by Ben Sullivan. Now, remember those names, because they've actually done a fair bit of work throughout the Australian comic scene. So they got a bit of a higher reputation. This was actually printed by Reverie Publications. They've actually been printing Australian comic books for a number of years, and they've got quite a number of titles in their roster. So let's see how they go with a Western. So this particular issue is actually what I got here is actually the black and white limited edition copy. So there actually is a standard color version that's still available. So Ben Sullivan's art, it's pretty much on point. He does a good job with this book from start to finish. So he has a mix of American superhero commercial art style with European grit, especially in this comic. Ben gives the protagonist and the Wild Wild West justice. Everyone is expressive. The backgrounds are adequate for this book. So, yeah. Good job, Ben. The story? Well, as with most westerns, the comic starts with a shootout. Where exactly is this western base? Well, I don't know, because the book does not say. But I assume somewhere in America in between the years 1865 to 1901. Maybe it would have been cooler and more distinctive if it was set in Australia, because we had our bush rangers and stuff as well back in those days. But, let's just roll with it. So Rick accepts a bounty, if you will, and goes on a path with a number of twists and turns. I will not actually go into the full details, no spoilers. It's not fully unpredictable, but it kept my interest right to the end. So the execution for the whole thing? Now, this is actually a serious, gritty Western story. Mick McClure, who looks like a man that it looks like he probably should be working in a barbershop or serving you watered down whiskey at the bar. It's just a no-nonsense tough gunslinger. His character in this issue doesn't really offer much individualism, but this is just the first issue. The series actually has 7 issues to it so far, and besides, it's actually nice to see a tough man with wit. He doesn't back down in the world of comics. One gripe I'll actually note is the gunfight scene, because it only goes for one page and that's it. So, okay, the book is actually 28 pages long, so I guess the team needed to cram in what they could, but possibly an extra 4 pages of good old gunslinging violence would have put the cherry on the cake. And the ending was also just a bit, just wrap this up quickly. But as I actually said, there's actually more issues to this. So, the verdict for the whole thing? Well, I actually give this a 3.5 out of 5. It's another solid Australian comic which will make fans of westerns happy, and probably other comic book fans who are just sick and tired of superhero comics, especially like what Marvel and DC are doing at this time. Not exactly original material, but still a worthy read that properly respects the whole genre in itself. So, you can just take my word on it, or you can just tell this varmint to go to hell. It is just my worthless opinion, after all. Please like and subscribe and all that junk. And